Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about the brand new palette from Bad Habit Beauty. So if that is something you're interested in watching, then you are in the right place. We are about to get into it.
I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
Alright guys, so the brand new palette from Bad Habit Beauty, boy does it have everyone talking, and mainly because it doesn't seem that this one is a dupe. Everyone has scoured the internet and looked, and as far as I can tell, no one has been able to find what palette this palette is duping, which means this is Bad Habit's original palette. Now, a lot of people upon first inspection of this palette immediately jumped and said, oh, this is a dupe for the Lila palette. However, when Bad Habit made Solstice and Supernova, both of those palettes were the dupes for the Natasha Denona Sunset and Lila palette. So the dupe for the Lila palette has already been done. Not only that, when you put this palette up against the Lila palette, there are several differences. So the next theory was that this was possibly a dupe for the new palette that is now out by Nabla Cosmetics. For those of you that don't know who Nabla Cosmetics is, I do have a video going over Nabla Cosmetics, their concealer, their setting powder, and a couple of other items from Nabla Cosmetics. They are an Italian-based indie company, and their stuff is absolutely phenomenal. It's incredible, and they recently put out a palette this year called the Poison Garden palette. So a lot of people thought it was a dupe for this palette. We're not going to talk about this palette today. I'm saving it for an upcoming video, but I can tell you it's not a dupe for that particular palette. So it looks like this is Bad Habit's very first original palette, which is very, very exciting. Now, when you look at this palette, the name of this palette is called Pretty Poison. So all of the PR for this has been very Viper themed and very like femme fatale type of PR and marketing. All of the women look very dangerous and sexy, and all of the marketing materials around this particular palette. The outside of it is absolutely gorgeous. It's this soft matte type of texture on the outside, and then you have these kind of shifting type letters that say Pretty Poison on the front. On the back, you do have all of the shades and their names on the back, and then of course you have the cruelty-free bunny and all of Bad Habit's social and marketing information on the back. So when you open this, you have obviously the first thing that you'll see is a giant mirror, which is fantastic. I love that these palettes all have mirrors in them, but this is the color story, and when you first look at it, it is very reflective of the outside of the palette. So it has all of those type of purple and pink hues in here, but it also has some very rich plum colors in this, in addition to a beautiful kind of gold shimmer and some other type of shifting type duochromes in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this up close, just so that you guys can really get a good look of the outside and what it looks like on the inside. So Bad Habit says that this is a palette that includes an intoxicating 15 shade eyeshadow collection. Now they say that these are their standard potent pigments, that they feature a range of pink and purple hues, a mix of mattes, shimmers, and duochrome shades that offer, quite honestly, it is a very nice range of color. I do like the balance between matte and textured shadows. I think the fact that duochromes are included in this is actually quite neat. There is a gunmetal in here that has like a blue and pink glitter in it, which I think is incredibly unique. I do love the fact that they stuck with their standard matte formula that always performs and blends out very, very well. I actually have the palette on my eyes tonight, and I've been very happy over the course of the day today with the wear of this particular eyeshadow, the fact that the shimmers haven't transferred all up onto my lid. As always, these shadows blend beautifully and they wear very, very well. And another thing about this actual color story is, while I do like the purple type of vibe that's going on with this palette, I also like that included in this palette are some more neutral shades, more of like mauve-y and plummy type shades, and then you also have these beautiful golds that you can play with as well. This topper is beautiful, and these pinks are actually quite stunning. I have them on the center of my lid, kind of mixed in with the purple, and they actually perform really, really well on the eye for a pink shadow. So overall, I was very happy with the color story, and I was really, really happy with the way that these performed. But let's get into the swatches now so you guys can actually see the differences in the textures, the mattes, all that good stuff. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to do this a row at a time, but I am going to tell you guys like what texture it is, if this is a matte, if it's a duochrome, etc., because I want you to be able to see all of the different textures included in this 15 pan palette. Alright guys, so we're going to go over each of the shades and their different finishes. First we have Ensnared, which is a matte ivory. Next we have Venomous, which is a metallic indigo purple. Then we have Pierced Heart, which is a matte pale mauve. Next is Femme Fatale, one of my favorites in this. It's a metallic pink with a blue duochrome shift. Next we have Paralyzed, which is just a shimmering champagne. Lovesick, which is fuchsia with a pearlized finish. And then we have Antidote, which is a matte mauve. That's like a deep purple color. So these are the first 7 shades. And again, that Femme Fatale, which is that metallic pink with the blue duochrome shift, again, one of my favorites in this palette. It is stunning, and it looks absolutely beautiful on the eye. That Shimmering Champagne is beautiful too, which is Paralyzed. It's the one that's actually next to Femme Fatale. I love that shimmering shade as well. Beautiful, beautiful colors, and they look really pretty. They're very creamy. The shift to the Femme Fatale is gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, next we have Intoxicated, which is a metallic royal purple. Beautiful color. Then Chemistry, which is a metallic, and it's a plum. Then we have Deadly Dose, which is more of like a dusky kind of mauve brown. And then we have Lethal, which is a gunmetal with blue and pink glitter in it. Gorgeous, gorgeous color. Next, we have Nectar, which is ivory with pink duochromes in there. It's more of a topper than anything. Then we have Jealousy, which is what they call a Japanese plum. It's a little more pink. And then we have Nightshade, which is a matte lilac color. And then Sting is the very last one, and that is actually a gilded gold. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Sting and the gunmetal color, which is called Lethal. Those are my second and third favorites in this palette. That gunmetal just has a phenomenal shift to it in the light. It's beautiful. It is gorgeous on the eye, especially if you use it to like smoke out your outer V. It's gorgeous. And then Sting, which is that gilded gold, stunning on the lid. Absolutely stunning on the lid. I love that royal purple as well. So Lots of beautiful colors in here. The mattes are gorgeous. The Deadly Dose, which is that dusky kind of mauve brown matte, is beautiful in the crease to deepen up a crease line. It blends out beautifully. Overall, guys, this is the lineup of the very last of the palette, and overall they're gorgeous. So again, Sting, that gilded gold, beautiful, creamy, my favorite. And then this is that gunmetal color that has the pink and blue glitter in it. Stunning as well. And then, of course, the Femme Fatale. So these are like my 3 favorite shimmers in the palette. The 3 of these are gorgeous. That Femme Fatale with the metallic pink with the blue duochrome shift to it is just stunning. Alright guys, so that is it. All the swatches from the Pretty Poison palette. So the swatches are absolutely stunning, as always with Bad Habit. I think these are gorgeous colors, and I'm so excited that this is a great step in the original direction. I think they really established themselves with the dupes out there. Everybody really takes them very seriously on the market now. They're a huge contender when it comes to really good quality products, including their brushes. Their eye primer is one of the best eye primers that I have ever used. Their brush set that came out, I did a review on that. You guys can go back and watch the brush set review on the Bad Habit brushes. The expansion of this company is something that I've really enjoyed watching, and I knew that eventually they weren't going to be able to keep their basic marketing concept on duping other products. They were going to have to come out with some original products and come out in a very, very competitive space, which the beauty industry is. And I think that this is a great step forward as far as an original palette is concerned. I think this is a great first step. I love this palette. The powders that they've put out, the brushes that they've put out, they've managed to be able to put products out there that consumers really enjoy and really build their brand. Not only that, but I reiterate time and time again, with this organization, this launched, I ordered it, and it was at my doorstep the next day for $4 shipping. No matter what you order off of their website, it's always $4 for shipping. And you get your confirmation, your shipping notification the same day, and typically it's at your doorstep the next day or the day after. So far, their customer service has been spot on. Their distribution and shipping experience has been hands down amazing. They're keeping their price points incredibly reasonable considering the caliber of formula that you get with their palettes. This particular palette is $16, just like the rest of their 15 pan palettes, and that's incredible. I really appreciate what Bad Habit is doing and the statement they're making in the beauty industry. It is possible to be a large beauty conglomerate and get overnight shipping down to a fine art and get clear and concise communication going with your customer base to keep products cranking out that are of high quality, but we're not paying $50, $150 for a palette. We're not paying $30 for face powder or $100 for an eyeshadow brush set. They're keeping their prices reasonable, which tells me that they're focused on their consumer, which means that this is a brand that I can trust. When they're not focused on making money and they're focused more on making things accessible for consumers, then as a consumer, that becomes a beauty company that you can trust and feel good about purchasing their actual products. And of course, I love the fact that they are staying cruelty-free, even though they're kind of on their own now. They've got their own website. I'll link everything down below. But yeah, so far, Bad Habit is really shaping up to be quite a good brand that I'm pretty impressed with, because it wasn't too long ago that Bad Habit was just this little blip on the Shop Hush app that not a lot of people knew about, and they've managed to really build up to this big contender, and so far so good, Bad Habit. Kudos to you. So I'll walk you guys through the actual look that I did on my eyes tonight. It was fairly simple. I just stuck with the more plummy type colors on the eyes, but as always, these colors just blend out beautifully. There's a beautiful transition color in here, and you know, for me that is Pierced Heart, and then I just put Deadly Dose and Antidote in the crease just to warm it up a little bit. I have Jealousy and Lethal both on my lid, with Nectar and Paralyzed a little closer to my inner corner, and then I just simply put some black eyeliner on with some lashes, and Bob's Your Uncle, the eyeshadow look is done. And it was a very simple look, but it really looks pretty, and you know, it has some different things going on with it, but I like the look itself. I like the way that it looks, especially on green eyes. If you have hazel eyes or green eyes, purples will always make your eyes pop a little bit, just because that's opposite end of the spectrum. So one thing I really do like about these shades in particular is the shimmer shades. They stay where they're supposed to. Oftentimes with shimmer shades, you will put it on your lid, and then as you blink and move your eye throughout the course of the day, you'll notice that your shimmer will travel all the way up in here into your crease where you have your matte shades, and that's never a good thing. But these shimmers always stay put, and I really like that about them. And another thing I like about them is that they don't fade throughout the day. So the shimmer stays very pretty and very crisp throughout the day. And I mean, what can you say? It's a good eyeshadow. It's a good eyeshadow palette. It's a great formula. It's absolutely Erika approved, especially at this price point. If you guys have never given Bad Habit Beauty a shot, I definitely recommend you guys getting on their website, looking through their palettes, look at a couple of the ones that you guys maybe think speak to you. One of my favorite palettes from Bad Habit Beauty is the dupe that they did for the Natasha Denona palette. It's called the Divine palette. It's this one, and this one is absolutely well loved. It's a little messy, so excuse it, but this is a gorgeous eyeshadow palette, and this is a great eyeshadow palette to start with. If you've never tried anything from Bad Habit Beauty, I would definitely recommend maybe picking up the Divine palette. If maybe an all purple or pink or these particular hues don't necessarily appeal to you, definitely try the Divine palette. Another palette of theirs that I really like are the After Hours collection palettes that are little dupes of the mini Huda Beauty palettes, the little teeny tiny Huda Beauty palettes. They have dupes for those on the Bad Habit website. They're called the After Hours collection. Check any of those out. All of those are absolutely gorgeous. And then, of course, you have their oldie but goodies. For example, the Royals palette is still one of my favorite palettes. This was their Modern Renaissance dupe, and it's still gorgeous. I still dip into it to this day. I love the formula. I love the shadows in this particular palette. In addition to this one, the Arabesque palette, which was the Soft Glam dupe. This palette is also gorgeous, and the formula in here is also quite stunning. I love this palette. Both of these are here on my vanity, and you know, it's funny, I have these palettes, and not one of these palettes costs more than 20 bucks. All of these are like $15, $16 palettes, and I think even in the beginning, I think even maybe this one might have been $10, but these were all incredibly inexpensive palettes, and all of these are up here top shelf next to my Natasha Denona Gold palette, and my Safari palette, and my Huda Beauty palette, and my Viseart Pro palette. You know, I have all of these really expensive palettes, and these palettes also are sitting up here on my vanity, and I reach for them as often because the formula is really good and you just can't beat it, guys. So if you've never checked out any of the palettes from Bad Habit Beauty, I would definitely recommend that you do that. They are all Erika approved. At least all of the ones that I have tried are Erika approved. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll be happy to chat with you about any of the products that I've used. But I'm really proud of Bad Habit for this original concept. I think it's stunning, and I'm so glad they didn't let me down with their first original. They are sticking to being flawless, and I can really appreciate it. They are definitely a beauty company for the people. They really are. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are new here, welcome. We're so glad that you stopped by. We do have a giveaway coming up next week for Thanksgiving, so make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. Also, we have a community tab now, so I can actually text you guys through YouTube. So watch your notifications in YouTube if you're subscribed. Sometimes I'll text out little questions. I love to just kind of get all of us involved in the community, so feel free to respond to any of those community notifications now that we have that feature. In addition to that, always feel free to reach out to me through DMs on Instagram. I love talking to you guys. Product recommendations, skincare recommendations. I have no problem doing little mini consults for you guys and recommending products for different things. People always ask me questions on Instagram, and if I can't find the answer, then I'll go to the shop and make sure one of the girls can give me the answer, or my sister can give me the answer. We'll get you the answer. So feel free to reach out to me on Instagram anytime you need to as well. As always, guys, thank you so much for coming by. Make sure you stay tuned. We have some good stuff coming up. I hope everybody is very happy and very healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video.